Let me ask you something, just thinking out loud here. When your favorite team's playing, um, do you ever place a bet?
Happens all the time, right?
Yeah, maybe just a small one, for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's become a regular thing. But here's what we're really digging into today. When you bet on your team, is it ever really about cold, hard logic?
Or is it just pure loyalty, that gut feeling?
Exactly. Welcome to the deep dive. We're unpacking probably one of the most emotionally loaded habits in sports betting.
It makes sense, though.
It does. Supporting a team, it's personal. It's tied up with who you are, your community.
Mm,
It's loyalty.
absolutely.
And betting on them feels like you're just doubling down on that belief. Putting your money where your heart is, basically.
And that well, that's the potential trap, isn't it?
How so?
The second that emotion steps into the ring, logic often gets knocked to the ropes. It takes a back seat.
Okay.
It's a classic setup for what, psychologists call confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Remind us what that is again.
Yeah, it's basically our brain's sneaky trick. It makes us actively look for stuff that confirms what we already believe or want to believe,
And ignore the rest.
and conveniently ignore or at least downplay anything that challenges it. Think about it like planning a holiday you're already set on.
Right.
You read the reviews, but you really pay attention to the glowing ones, the amazing pictures.
And kind of skim past the warnings about crowds or bad food.
Exactly. In betting, it's like putting on these loyalty-tinted glasses. Suddenly, you might not really see crucial facts.
Like what?
Well, like the team's actual recent form, maybe they've lost 3 straight. Or key injuries, their star players out. Doesn't matter.
Because you just feel it.
You feel it, you think, they've got to bounce back
Or
eventually.
the classic gambler's fallacy almost.
Kinda. It's hope. Pure hope. And look, hope is great in life. We need it. But as a betting strategy, it's usually not a winning one.
That makes total sense. And it's tough because who doesn't want to believe in their team? But, okay, if we're falling into this bias trap,
Mhm.
the bookmakers, they must know this. They're not charities. How do they leverage this tendency we have?
Oh, they understand it perfectly. It's part of their model. What's really insightful is how they often skew the odds for popular teams.
Skew them how?
Well, not just based on the pure statistics, the actual probability of winning. They factor in public sentiment. They know loyal fans will back their club almost regardless of the price.
So they anticipate the volume of heart bets.
Precisely. Which means if you're consistently backing your favorite big club just out of loyalty, chances are you're getting worse value. Less bang for your buck compared to someone analyzing it coldly.
Wow. So it's like a hidden tax on your loyalty.
That's a great way to put it. A loyalty tax, yeah.
Okay, that's one layer.
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned sources pointing to something even weirder. This hedge betting thing.
Yeah, this one's fascinating. It sounds completely backwards, right? Some fans actually bet against their own team.
Against them. Why on earth would you do that?
Well, think about the psychology. If their team loses, which obviously feels bad emotionally, they win money.
Like a consolation prize?
Exactly, a tangible silver lining for the emotional pain. But if their team wins,
They lose the bet, but they're ecstatic anyway because the team won.
you got it. They lose the cash, but they get the emotional high of victory. It's like
Yeah.
emotional insurance. It just shows how complex this whole area is. It's not just about money, it's managing feelings.
That's actually quite clever in a strange way. Emotionally hedging. So, okay, pulling this all together, what does this mean for you listening right now? You might be doing this every weekend.
Yeah, look, the main takeaway isn't that betting on your team is inherently wrong. There's no rule against it.
Right.
But, and this is the big but, if you're doing it without any objectivity, without looking hard at the stats, the odds, the context, injuries, everything.
Then you're not really making a bet aimed at profit.
No, you're making a statement. You're saying, I believe, you're wearing your colors. And statements, while powerful, can be expensive.
So it boils down to being honest with yourself. Why are you placing this bet? Ask yourself that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just to feel a bit more buzz during the game, more engaged? That's fine. That's one thing.
Totally understandable.
But if the goal is actually to make money, to profit from it, well, then that emotion, that loyalty, it really has to be checked at the door.
Your heart wants the win. Your head needs to figure out if they likely will win, based on evidence. 2 different things.
A real head versus heart battle.
It really is. Because loyalty, it's a wonderful human trait, truly. But the house,
The house doesn't care who you support.
not one bit.
Great point to end on. So until next time, bet smart, everyone. Play responsibly. And remember, keep that passion on the pitch.
Not on your betting slip.